stuff, right?
That's a hell of a good project. I'm going to mention something to the Commerce Secretary.
That would be terrific. That would be great, huh?
Terrific. It was terrific.
There's one I was thinking about right first.
Snap out of it. What, a hot older woman made you feel her pants? Stop crying like a little girl.
I wasn't crying.
And boom, we are live. Welcome, folks, to the American Movie Podcast. If you've never been here before, welcome aboard. I go through movies, news, documentaries, Netflix series, and I go over books. And today's book we're going over is called The Jungle by Upton Sinclair. So this is a story about this Lithuanian family, and they moved to America seeking jobs, and they're trying to make it pretty much, and they all live together. So you have Jurgis, who's this young, strapping, burly, youthful man, and his wife, Ona, or soon-to-be wife, and they're going to make a go of it. And it's set in Chicago, and it's in Packington. It's an area where it's strictly, it's meatpacking plants and fertilizer plants, and that's about it. And this is the most gruesome, sad book I possibly have ever read. It's up there with the Gulag Archipelago. It is so sad. I can't describe to you the circumstances and just how down and out these people become because of naivety, or bad luck, and then the harsh working conditions and the hours and the wages that these people have to just accept, because there's lines and lines of somebody, of thousands of other people that will take that position. But Jurgis, he's young, he's ready, he wants American work, and so he gets his job right away at this meat packing plant. And it shows the gruesomeness and just horrific conditions that the people work in, and the malpractices that these people implore on their employees. So it's so crazy. This is one of the craziest books, and I just kept you got to read it in the morning, because if you read it before bed, you're just depressed. And it's just like, God, Jurgis. So he's working in the meat. I don't want to go into it too much because I don't want to ruin the story, because it teleports you and is so descriptive. And Upton Sinclair is a great writer. This is a timeless book. I remember hearing about this when I was younger, and I knew the premise, but this thing actually takes you there, and you are just along for the ride, and it's so sad. And I love books like that because they give you perspective on how harsh and how horrible trials people went through. And this is not an exception, man. It is the craziest book ever. So Jurgis gets hired right away, and he sees the pits of these meatpacking plants, and they bring in thousands and thousands of cattle and steer and harvest them. And when you first hear it, it is a thing of, it's almost like a symphony, the way they describe it. So it's just like, it's basically an assembly line, and every worker has a job. But it's like, it kind of is it opens you up to the environment and isn't really harsh and brutal or descriptive wise until you go along Jurgis's story. And it is so freaking sad. I can't say that enough. It is so sad. And this is a great book. Everybody should read this, because it's going to give you perspective. At the very least, it's going to give you perspective at how harsh people had it. And before there were some sort of guidelines and regulations, it was a free-for-all. There were muddy streets. There were people passed out drunk in the road. Maybe you live in Florida, and maybe that's still happening. But it is so crazy. There's people in the blistering cold. They work long hours. If they're 10 minutes late, they get docked an hour pay, but they still have to work the 50 minutes. And there are just so many just worker maltreatment, There's no heat in the building, you know, like all of these things, and these things add up. And then they try and buy a house, and then they get behind on the payments, and they didn't know about interest, and then the annual increases due to whatever, due to their landlord stipulations, and the fear that these people had they got all of their money together and were trying to buy this house, and it was every single dime that their family had. And they were so scared, but they knew that they had to help, and this would help. And so they get a lawyer, and the lawyer looks over the deed, and it's a normal deed, but they don't say, hey, or explain interest to these people. And then they both get sick. Some of their kids pass. And so the despair and the spiraling down of Jurgis and his decrepitude is just, it's mesmerizing. It's so sad. So that's all I'm going to say for that. And it's The Jungle. It's a great book. You could probably read it in a week. It's not too big. And here, I've got it right here. So if you want it, this is a brand new one. I read this one. Hold on, I bought two. So this is a brand new one. Haven't touched it. Haven't really opened it at all. Just to, look at it. But didn't read it or anything. It's brand new. There's a smudge actually. But if there's 50 comments or and then 50 subscribers, if you're a subscriber and you comment down below, and there's 50, I will pick one of the comments and I will send you this book. It is The Jungle, and if you want to check it out yourself, it's Upton Sinclair. Get it anywhere, Amazon. I'll put it in the Amazon store in the link down below too, so you can get it there if you don't want to comment or whatever. So, yeah, you can go to YouTube, comment there on the video, or Instagram, comment on this video down below or whatever. So, thank you so much. That was The Jungle by Upton Sinclair. Be ready if you start it. So thank you so much. Matthew Benjamin with the American Movie Podcast. Bye.
After all, someone has to pay for the lap dances for the big guy.
He's joking around. Feels so good when he jokes.
What's this company called?
Shirts and pants. Holy shirts and pants. It's a little corny and obvious, but what do you get out of being so, right?
That's a hell of a good project. I'm gonna mention something to the Commerce Secretary.
That would be terrific. That would be great, huh?
Terrific. It was terrific.
There's one of us being another person.
Snap out of it. What, a hot older woman made you feel her cans? Stop crying like a little girl. I wasn't crying like a little girl. Why don't you try getting jacked off under the table in front of the whole damn family and have some real problems? Jackass. What were they like anyway? They look pretty good. Are they real? They built for speed or for comfort? What'd you do with them? Motorboat? You play the motorboat? You motorboating son of a bitch, you old sailor, you. Where is she? She's still in the house? What's wrong with you? What do you mean, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you?
No, what's wrong with you?
No, what's wrong with you? You're projecting.
Drop it.
You drop it. You stop projecting on me. Why don't you go enjoy yourself while I go ice my balls and spit up blood?
Drop it!
Team player.
After all, someone has to pay for the lap dances for the big guy.